It is 9 in the evening. The cleaning crew has come and gone. The other floors went dark an hour ago. You are still here. The laptop fan hums. 2 takeout containers are stacked at the corner of the desk. Both are cold. Somewhere across town, your child has already fallen asleep. The hallway light is on, just in case. You tell yourself next quarter will be different. You have told yourself this for 9 quarters. The bonus came, eventually. The promotion came. The number on the year-end statement climbed every spring. The way a tide comes in, patiently, inexorably, indifferent to whether you are watching, and something you cannot yet name. Something that does not appear on any statement slipped quietly off the other side of the desk and was gone before you noticed. Tonight, we talk about the bill that work hands you in the dark, the second invoice, the one printed in ink no salary can see, the line item you do not notice until you can no longer pay it back. What Burkeman saw. In 2021, a British journalist named Oliver Burkeman, who had spent a decade writing about productivity for The Guardian, published a small book with an alarming title, 4,000 Weeks. 4,000 weeks. That is the average human life. Less than the number of emails in your inbox. Burkeman's argument, in essence, is this. The more efficient you become, the more the world rushes in to fill the time you saved. He calls it the efficiency trap. And the harder you run inside it, the longer the corridor becomes. You will never, Burkeman writes, be on top of everything. Not at any salary, not at any title, not in any quarter. That sentence sounds, at first, like surrender. It is not. It is a permission slip. A quiet, almost embarrassing permission slip you have been waiting for, without knowing you were waiting since you were 25. Here is what the inbox does not tell you. Every hour you give it does not buy back the hour you owed somewhere else. It simply teaches the inbox that you can be reached at this hour, too. The reward for finishing is more. And the things money cannot return, those wait quietly outside the office door. Your daughter learned to ride a bicycle on a Saturday afternoon 2 months ago. In the driveway, without falling once. You were on a call. The call ran long. Your father turned 73 on a Tuesday. You sent flowers from an app while waiting at an airport gate. The flowers arrived. He sent a thumbs up. You boarded. Your wife asked you, last spring, in the kitchen, whether you were happy. The question was not loaded. It was, in fact, lighter than the question deserved. You said you would think about it after the launch. The launch shipped. You did not think about it. Burkeman's quiet point is that finitude is not a defect of your life. It is the shape of your life. And every hour you spend pretending otherwise, pretending that next quarter will be different, that the inbox has a bottom, is an hour you have stolen from a stranger. The stranger is the version of you who would have come home. Seneca's letter. 2,000 years ago, on the Italian peninsula, a Roman gentleman by the name of Seneca began writing letters to a younger friend named Lucilius. We have 124 of those letters preserved, copied through monasteries, smuggled across the medieval world. The first one, the very first letter, is about you on the 14th floor at 9 in the evening. Seneca writes, while we are postponing, life speeds by. Nothing, Lucilius, is ours, except time. Nothing, Lucilius, is ours, except time. Read it again, slowly. Not the wealth that is yours. Not the title on the door. Not the parking spot. Not the office on the 14th floor with the window. Time, of all the things people consider as belonging to them, Seneca says, only time is actually theirs. Seneca uses 2 Latin words for what he wants Lucilius to do. Vindicate tibi. It translates roughly claim yourself for yourself. Notice the verb Seneca chose. Not receive yourself. Not find yourself. Not discover yourself. Claim yourself. As if your hours had already been carried off by someone else, and you were owed them back, and the act of getting them back required a small, quiet, daily insurrection. Because, and this is Seneca's quiet thunder, they have been. The hours from the bedtime story you missed. The hours from the wedding anniversary you scheduled around the deadline. The hours from the friend who stopped calling because the calls were never returned. The hours that the company will, at the end of all this, replace with a wristwatch and a card signed by people whose names you will not remember in a year. Seneca's word is precise. Those hours did not vanish. They were taken, handed away by you, hour by hour, in exchange for things that cannot give them back. The Norwegian explorer Erling Kagge, who has walked alone to the South Pole, says something almost Senecan in a different register. He says that silence is the new luxury. But silence, like time, is only a luxury if you have noticed the noise. And you, on the 14th floor, have stopped hearing it. The hum of the laptop fan, the chime of the inbox, these have become the wallpaper of your interior life. The ledger of work and the ledger of time are not the same book. Money is the only entry the company can write in. Everything else, you write yourself. The permission to leave. So, how does a person, on a Wednesday at 9 in the evening, claim themselves back from the company? 3 quiet practices from the pages we have been reading. First, name the hour the office stops owning you. Burkeman's small discipline is to say it out loud on a Sunday, before the week begins, in front of the people who live with you. At 7 in the evening, the laptop closes. Not because 7 is sacred, because the line, drawn anywhere and held, is the only thing the inbox has ever respected. Second, replace the missing hour with a ritual, not a resolution. Resolutions are heroic. Rituals are humble. The coat on the hook by the door. The phone in the drawer of the hallway table. The first 10 minutes of the evening given, without negotiation, to the smallest person who lives in your house. Third, and this is Seneca's, keep an account. Seneca told Lucilius to count his hours the way an honest merchant counts coin at the end of the trading day. Not because the numbers will save you, and not because the count itself is virtuous. Because the counting is the simple, deliberate act of remembering whose hours they were in the first place. In one column, you write what you spent, the hours broken into honest blocks. In the other column, you write what those hours were spent on. Not the project name, not the deliverable, but what was actually purchased with the time. Then, only then, you ask the question Lucilius was asked. Are you content with the trade? Most evenings, the answer is no, and that is the beginning of being able to say no the next morning. So return, for a moment, to the 14th floor. It is still 9 in the evening. The laptop is still open. The takeout is still cold. But something has shifted. You have been, for 10 minutes, an honest merchant. You close the laptop, not in protest, not in triumph, just you close it. The way a merchant closes a ledger at the end of a day's trade. You reach for your coat. From the 14th floor, walking out is 240 steps. Across the floor, down the corridor, into the elevator, through the lobby, past the security guard who is reading a paperback. You have walked it many times. You have just never let yourself walk it on a night like this. With this kind of quietness. Outside, the city is colder than you remember. Your breath shows. Somewhere across town, a hallway light is still on. A small body is asleep beneath it. You are 40 minutes away. 40 minutes is a long time when you are an honest merchant. Long enough to begin the count. Tonight, before you sleep, you do not need to quit your job. You do not need to sell the house. You do not need to write the book you keep telling yourself you will write. You do not need to walk to the South Pole, like Kagge did, to find the silence. You only need to draw one line, somewhere in tomorrow, and call that line yours. Seneca, 2,000 years away, would call that, in his Latin, vindicate tibi, claim yourself for yourself. Begin tonight. The light at 9 in the evening is no longer a virtue. It is a bill. Pay it. Then go home. Good night from Midnight Pages.